Top Democrats are now putting pressure on U.S. President Joe Biden to take executive action to cancel $50,000 in student loan debt for individual borrowers. The Senate's top Democrat, Chuck Schumer, along with Senator Elizabeth Warren on Thursday, reintroduced a resolution calling on the White House to forgive student debt for all borrowers by an urgent executive action. Our next report brings you more.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and other progressive Democrats are calling on President Biden to cancel up to $50,000 in federal student loan debt by executive order.
College should be a ladder up. For too many people, debt is the anchor that weighs them down, and they rarely overcome it.
Senator Elizabeth Warren says data shows that canceling federal student debt would result in higher incomes, more jobs, home ownership rates, and more small business formation.
Canceling student loan debt is good for you, whether you have student loan debt or not, because it is good for our economy.
President Biden, who campaigned on plans to cancel up to $10,000 in student loan debt, has said he wants Congress to pass such a bill, but did not include that provision in the $1.9 trillion economic relief proposal he sent to Congress.
Could I see it happening? Student debt forgiveness? I definitely think so, but I don't think it's a sustainable model to have people necessarily keep forgiving student debt. I think it needs to be minimized in the first place from the ground up. So the debt contracts that people sign, I think, just need to be lower and less extreme.
Americans are often saddled with student debt for the rest of their lives. 15% of households headed by someone 55 and older have student loan debt, and those debt levels has grown 321% since 1992. Close to half the debt was for their own education. About 44% was for their children, and the remaining debt for both.
I mean, it can carry throughout your life. It can affect your relationships, it can affect your career, your housing, and I think older generations really underestimate how much it really carries throughout your whole life and continues to be a burden on you just because you wanted to get a great education.
Meanwhile, some 1,000 students at Columbia University in New York are holding a tuition strike, refusing to pay for the spring semester. They're demanding the Ivy League schools cut their tuition by 10% and increase financial aid for students burdened by the COVID-19 pandemic. Any student debt relief bill will likely face roadblocks in Washington because it essentially picks winners and losers. For example, those students who just paid off their loans and others who will be taking these loans in the future will be at a disadvantage. Susan Tehrani from New York for WION World is One.
WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.